Our bodies, they're the most sophisticated machines on the entire planet, but they run on a surprisingly simple principle: energy in, energy out. But have you ever really stopped to wonder about the incredible engineering that has to happen in between?
I mean, think about it. You have lunch, and hours later you can still think, you can move, you can live. Your body doesn't just burn all that fuel at once. No, it has to store it and then release it perfectly on demand. And that right there presents this fascinating biological puzzle that life had to solve. Because if all the sugar from that one meal just flooded your system at once, it would be a complete catastrophe. The osmotic pressure alone would cause your cells to swell up and literally burst. It'd be like trying to charge your iPhone by plugging it directly into a power plant. It just doesn't work. So life was facing a critical engineering challenge.
It needed a way to package a massive amount of energy into a form that was safe, stable, and, most importantly, instantly accessible. It needed a rechargeable power pack built on a molecular scale. And the solution it came up with, well, it's one of the most brilliant pieces of natural design you'd probably never even thought about. The answer is a molecule called glycogen. Now, you've probably heard the name kicked around in a biology class, but here's what most people don't realize. This molecule is not just some simple sugar storage tank. Oh no, it is a marvel of molecular architecture, a perfectly designed power grid hiding inside your liver and your muscles. Just look at this structure. This isn't just a long, boring chain of glucose molecules. It's a hyper-branched sphere, like a dense tree with literally tens of thousands of endpoints. And that incredible complexity? That is not an accident. That is the entire secret to its power. To understand this, we need to look at the blueprint for how this biobattery actually gets charged. It all happens in 3 incredibly elegant steps, carried out by a team of highly specialized enzymes. Okay, so let's break this down. First, you've got a protein seed called glycogen. It kicks the whole thing off. Think of it as the foreman on the construction site. Then a builder enzyme, glycogen synthase, gets to work, adding glucose molecules one by one, like beads on a string. But this is where things get really interesting. A third enzyme, the architect, comes in, snips off a section of that chain, and reattaches it somewhere else, creating a new branch. It's this architect that turns a simple line into a complex, 3-dimensional power pack. And this branching, it isn't just for cramming more stuff into a small space. No, it's the critical design feature that allows for an almost instantaneous release of power the second you need it. And this detail changes everything. So now, let's look at what happens when your body needs to actually tap into that stored energy. This is the discharging phase, and it is all about speed and efficiency. 2 key enzymes basically act like a demolition crew. You've got glycogen phosphorylase, that's the main worker, and then a specialized debranching enzyme that comes in to handle all the tricky corners, literally breaking off the branches to clear the way. Together, they execute this perfect, systematic breakdown of the molecule. Because of that highly branched structure we talked about, the main enzyme can attack from thousands, and I mean thousands, of endpoints all at once. It's not this slow, linear process of unwinding a long chain. It's a massive, parallel release of fuel. This is why an athlete can go from a dead stop to a full sprint in a heartbeat. It's instant energy on demand. And then the debranching enzyme just comes in and tidies up, making sure every last bit of glucose is accessible. So the crucial takeaway is this. The branching creates this enormous surface area for the enzymes to get to work. Instead of one single point of energy release, you have tens of thousands. It's the difference between trying to drain a swimming pool with a single straw versus draining it with thousands of them all at the same time. Now, this system is so perfectly tuned that any flaw in that blueprint, well, it can have devastating consequences. When the enzymes responsible for either building or breaking down glycogen are mutated, the whole system can fail. And this comparison just illustrates the problem perfectly. In conditions known as glycogen storage diseases, or GSDs, that brilliant architect enzyme can't create enough branches. What you get instead are these long, stringy chains that are inefficient, almost impossible to break down quickly, and they're insoluble. They essentially become like junk data, just clogging up the cell's hard drive. And this is not just some theoretical problem.
This microscopic error in the blueprint leads to the accumulation of this abnormal, useless glycogen. And that causes very real and often very severe health issues. An enlarged liver, profound muscle weakness, and inability to exercise. It's just a stark reminder of how absolutely critical this elegant design is for our own health.
So, when you really zoom out, you start to realize this isn't just some abstract biochemistry. This is the elegant, efficient, and truly life-sustaining power system operating inside you, right this very second. And for one final, absolutely stunning fact, consider this. A single glycogen molecule can hold about 55,000 glucose units. If all those units were just floating free inside a cell, their concentration would be a toxic 400 millimolar. But by packaging them into this one elegant molecule, the body reduces that concentration to a perfectly safe 0.01 times micromolar. That is a 40 million-fold reduction in concentration. Just incredible.
It solves the physics problem of storage space, the chemistry problem of osmotic pressure, and the biology problem of on-demand energy. It is, without a doubt, nature's perfect power pack.
So every time you move or think or even breathe, you are tapping into this ancient and unbelievably ingenious biological battery. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other masterpieces of engineering are humming away inside of us, just waiting for us to finally understand their blueprint?
Thanks for watching. Support BioVellum by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Let's explore the secrets of nature together.